mikwano gyange Adam Al Mahad Kungu ne mukyala wange Dorin Mwesige babeerewo nga bakuweereza bulungi. Webale kubabona, webale kubawagira ate banaife bali ku mitimbagano. If you want to follow us, Baba TV, Baba Television, Baba TV Uganda. Ku Facebook edda kuba otufunadde, we are streaming live okutuusaako bijja mu maiso. Jja ku live stream yaife, I think Baba Television edda kuba otugoberera bulungi. Abali ku YouTube, we are right there. Get there, Baba TV Uganda. Nebiri ate bw'oba oyenda okutukyaliraku tuli Eidinda, awo opposite n'eirwaliro erinene ery'Eidinda, ate wano e Kampala tuli Ntinda ku Kisasi Road. Mark Ntinda ku Kisasi Road, bw'oba oli kuva Ntinda ng'oli kusinga Kisasi, we are on your right, just 50 meters from the Ntinda main junction. Oba otuse ku Baba Television. Ido tukyalire ku leero oli kuna nabyoyenda okutukoba tukubire ku waya kunife. You are free to comment on whatever we do, and we welcome all comments, be it positive or negative, demeaning, that's feedback. And as communications experts, if abaso maybe empulizigania, you can only be sure that communication has been done when that feedback comes. So whatever feedback you send, you're simply right on our script. We are simply receiving it positively because that's what we need. Let's know what made you happy. Let's know what you want. But we also supposed to know what did not go well with you, because we don't broadcast as angels, we broadcast as human beings. You are free to comment about Muyanga. Say, Muyanga, you are wrong on this. You are wrong on this. You know less on this. You know much on this. You know this. I take that positively. All I need is that where possible, make the comments respectful, even when they are negative. You can make them negative but respectful and say, Muyanga ndoze entegerayo ku nsonga eyo ekyabulamu. It is the same thing as saying oli musi. But the other one looks a bit covered up, a bit packaged and good. So, welcome to Baba Television. The big story today begins now. Abendo kugoberera emikutu gye tuli kunze. Now you want to follow the main man himself, Sir Simon Muyanga Lutaaya. Same brand everywhere. Sir Simon Muyanga Lutaaya on Twitter. Sir Simon Muyanga Lutaaya on YouTube. Sir Simon Muyanga Lutaaya on Facebook. Sir Simon Muyanga Lutaaya on TikTok. For now, I am there. I am not yet on Instagram, because I hear it is for beautiful girls displaying their pictures and their strokes and their something. I don't want to be there. If Doreen is not there, who am I to be on Instagram? But whoever is on Instagram, I think Baba TV is there. Follow us everywhere this morning. The interesting stories I think I hear as I introduced to you Mr. Tamale Mirundi. I think yesterday, General Salim Saleh warned those of us who are so much taken up by the Museveni, Muhoozi succession talk. He said, leave that. Do business. Don't mind about those things. Leave them. They shouldn't take your time. Why? Because tujja bisolving. He said, mind about business. Mukole sente. Look for money. Look for business opportunities. Create jobs. Mulimemere mala. Museveni, Muhoozi is one and the same. You shouldn't stress yourself over that. Thank you, Mr. Salim Saleh. The general spoke. And when he speaks, who am I to say no? Don't divert the public. Let the organs, the relevant organs to make decisions in that direction, let them do their work, concentrate on what you're doing. It is also good to learn that this new East African Parliament or new East African Legislative Assembly was sworn in. As we talk now, we have a duly constituted IALA, or Legislative Assembly for the African Community. Burundi now takes the speakership this time round, because the speakership of IALA is rotational. Burundi's candidate won the speakership and will be running the parliament for the next 5 years up to 2027. We want to congratulate our members of parliament there. We have Gerard Black-Siranda, we have Muchara Mary Mujenyi, we have Sam Samali, we have Sam Kakoza, and the others. We want to wish them a very, very, very successful new term. I think the duty should be to let East African citizens know what does this parliament help them. What are those common issues of agreement that we have to discuss? What should I, as a citizen, do to support the East African community? When and how do I benefit from the East African community? What is there for us? What are the key issues that unite all of us as a region that the East African Legislative Assembly is going to handle? Our East Africa, I think Uganda, the Minister of East African Affairs is Muchara Bekali Kadaga, who was also there to attend the swearing-in ceremony. But we need to agree on where we are working commonly. One of the things we have achieved so far is the emphasis on Swahili. The expanded East African community that includes now DRC and Burundi wants to concentrate on making sure that the region speaks or adopts Swahili as our regional language. And I think here there are lessons organized for members of parliament, for ministers, and finally, Muchara Kadaga promised that there will be lessons, Swahili lessons for journalists. I wait for that day to learn some Swahili. Although I'm not as bad as my friends, I can speak sufficient Swahili. It is for survival. I can speak and can cross the border. I can get food. I can get accommodation. I can sustain a conversation, although not very fluently in Swahili. But if I spoke to someone who knows, he will understand my communication. Not very fluently, but yes, he will understand. The other one to handle is to see that East African community uses one single currency. I think the single currency, the efforts towards that are almost in final stages. I want to remember precisely whether it is Uganda that was selected to host the regional bank, the one we are going to call the Central Bank of East Africa. So that the shilling you have in Uganda should be the shilling you have in Kenya, should be the shilling in DRC, the shilling in South Sudan, the shilling in Burundi, the shilling in Rwanda, and the shilling in Tanganyika or Tanzania. That saves a lot because the different currencies we have, Kenya has a shilling, we have a shilling, Tanzania has a shilling, but the shillings vary. Our friends in Rwanda have mafaranga. Our friends in South Sudan have some, is it a pound, a dollar? Some dollar there. DRC, what is the DRC's manner? They're using mafaranga or something. So these and more are what we expect from our East African Legislative Assembly representatives. Handle those things that help Uganda. It will be very great to have an expanded market of 45 million Ugandans, plus so many millions in Congo, our friends in Kenya. If anybody has to do that together, it will be a very good deal to have us work together. So keep working on those issues that benefit us together. But most importantly, do sensitization for East Africans like me and other common people to know how good is it for us? What is in for us? What must we do to support what we have built together? Because we have representatives there, they are earning. It's important that we get there. So make sure that we do a good job. Kubanga okulonda obulonzi tulina abakaba East Africa ng'omutamanyi bamugasa batya, bamuyambira what, tumanyi kiteekwa kukola kiyinza obutatuyamba. Now that the East African Parliament is launched, let our friends who study diplomacy, let our lobbyists, let those who understand economics tell us, how does it benefit a common East African? The big story with Joseph Tamale Mirundi. Atenti. Chikulu nnyo.
You see, omusajja omubu osoma akatabo ka gundi. No longer it is.
No longer it is.
Omulamuzi yagamba lawyer. Why are you late, counsel? I'm late because I had problems of locomotion. Then the judge is saying, I'm soon getting tired and sick of your problems of locomotion. Gendo kasomera kaita no longer.
Longer it is. Nakasoma longer it is.
Waliwo omwana yatuuka kusomera nga buyise. Omusomesa n'amubuuza, why are you late? I was walking behind a slow dog.
Kano kankakuterereze.
I was walking behind a slow dog. Omwana baali bamaze omubuulira ku ssomero nti embwa eruma. Kakati omwana yali tayinza kuyisa mbwa. That's your problem of locomotion. Ne Muyanga wasobwa nnyo. Tewasoma political science. Tewasoma international relations. All of these things you are talking about East Africa. You see, you are not. Why? Africans trying groups at independence.
Yes.
There are those who believed that like in Nkrumah, that we would have a continental government. Then by the time Museveni came to power, Gaddafi had the same mentality.
Dream. Thought about and advanced it. Great advanced it.
But Museveni was insisting, why don't you have regional bodies, ECOWAS, SADC,
yes.
East African Community, Maghreb? Before you talk about the continental issue, why don't you have
regional one?
When you are reviving the East African Community, first study why it collapsed. I don't think that a serious study has been done. Why did it collapse?
The first one?
Yes, the East African Community, East African Airways, East African Railways, and as usual, Uganda is a loser. Anti-faith. Dar es Salaam was for social sciences. Yes. Because of all the East African leaders, Nyerere was a liberal.
True.
Kenya was for engineers. Uganda was for doctors. Njagala okubuulira ti okuva emulago baali basazeewo okuyita awo nga waliwo ttano gye muyitamu ne mugenda emulago. Twalina stamps ekyo ekizimbe ekiriko prime minister bayavaayo kati ku Lule, Yusuf Lule Road.
Yes.
When we sat down, the last minister of regional cooperation as the East African Community was lined up was Yoweri Museveni. Read his book. Akubuulire.
So, tayinza kubanga yasembayo n'abanga tamanyi biriyo Uganda will lose. You know, the man there has it all to make sure we benefit.
Let me tell you what caused the collapse of the East African Community, the earlier one.
Egoism.
Not egoism. Nyerere could not sit. Yes, Nyerere could not sit with Idi Amin.
Yes, it was that
supremacy was an East African Community in Tanzania, and the Chibedi foreign minister went in the relevant party. The seats reserved for Uganda were taken by Obote. And when the East African Community collapsed, there was a dust. And the Charles Njonjo dust costed the party for the collapse of the East African Community. When you divorce a husband or a wife, to come back you must know, has he abandoned or has she abandoned?
The first cause of our separation.
Yes.
What caused the trouble the other time round? Is it abandoned?
Two.
At the Chiro.
The Germans, because of federalism, wanted to finance a SAMI, a YAMI. Do you know a YAMI? It's a generous organization. that was funded by the Germans.
Yes.
But when the Germans...
I actually got training from it in its latest hours.
Because the Germans wanted to move together. When you look at such entities, when you read my book, how I have discussed this theory of whether it is economy, this one, whether it is
which we shall handle later,
whether it is economy
or politics.
I'm a discussant, and I have to take it before him. At a discussant, paper you. Now we know get them intellectuals. I can't let me tell you. We had East African Airways, which was taken over by Kenya. Uganda did not benefit. It was Idi Amin who created the East African Airways. We had East African harbors, railways and harbors, was taken by Tanzania. What did we get? Museveni was the last minister of regional cooperation, and his role was to share assets of the East African community. I will tell you, Museveni is the last minister. You don't see us building, and I thought we could even build a new, stronger body. When you read my book, I tell you, there are people, when you come to my family, I have a number of lawyers, I have a number of doctors, I have a number of agriculturists, I have a number of many professionals. Why? Because my family is broad-based. It's a family of many wives. Every woman struggles to ensure the one is failing. This is a trick. In your family? Yes, that's my trick. My trick is that marry many wives, the competition is their children. Mwemuna yasange nkumulumbe. Gwono sulianga banemi umbe jemmere. Ona agamba banne. Omukazi agamba omwana we. Bali banno basoma olya ugona. Nze sinza kulonda president atayina bakazi bangi. Because a family is the first unity where you develop your teeth. Kakati nkugamba, we are not the only ones who are forming. What happened to ECOWAS? In any organization, there must be a dominant force. Which is the dominant force in East Africa? Tell me, what is it? Museveni has always said that we are like a dispute. If the Kenyan economy is bigger, if the Tanzanian economy is bigger, one room is here, another one is here, the boundary is here. You cannot start an organization without a dominant force. NATO has functioned since the Second World War. Why? America is a dominant force. When Britain raised 15,000 soldiers, the economy collapsed. France, 3,000 soldiers. Spain and Italy. What's the dominant force in East Africa? You must have. We don't have a dominant force in East Africa. As we talk about East African integration, which is the dominant force, consensus in the politics is the dominance. And here in Amani, East Africa, NATO. Congo bagala fe Rwanda fe economy ya mwiringa kamye ya Kenya nte ninga tebamanyi jikuma. You tell me the dominant your economy is comparable to a rabbit. That's why all of the fingers cross. Kenya kabananti, and I've explained this in this book. Why? Yes. Kakati bwebali batandika European Union. We have NATO, we had the War Pact. Yes, the Russians also had an alliance, Warsaw, the capital city of Poland, where they sat. Why has NATO outlived Warsaw Pact? In anything, let me give you an example. I normally embarrass my family. But I tell them that I want to quote examples. My father died 20 years ago. And he left Yatulekera Ika Rusamvu Munkaga. ezettaka yes ate a faction from his jjajja waffe Sembuya. We are land owners. That's why I'm a very arrogant man. Naye ne bwe twayabya olumbe tetugambangako omukulu waffe oyo nti tugabane ettaka. Why? He handles all my problems. Even me a rich man. I'm a rich man according to Uganda standards. But my brother gives me money. Yansikira. Ndikizibuche. Abazukulu abana bange abawa sente. Kakati nange nebuuza.
Is too humble compared to the other man is
a diplomat.
The diplomat is humble.
Era you cannot anti abaganda baganda nti enda mawogo ezaala abalungi n'ababi. You cannot say that we are the same father and the same mother.
Big story.
Let me summarize.
Ekizibu kyo Tamale bino ng'omaliza hamu njagala oyige kino nange nkikola omuntu bw'oba omwagala nnyo gwe bw'oba oyagala omuntu ofiirawo tomanyi nsobize hamu ayinza okukola ensobi wadde mutabani wo
nze kitange yaŋŋamba ffe kitaffe Yowaana Mirundi yatugambanga nti abaana bange mubawe balye kubanga be balina okuzimba emisiwa. After the Second World War, the British government decided to reserve eggs for the younger people. It would have been the Kabaka to recognize Baganda who have contributed to both Buganda and the economy. Nti omwana oyo nze namubuulira ne mugaa nti ogenzeeyo emmengo mugundi mu bya Nnaabagereka bajja kufera. Yabazimbira ekizimbe ekyo tebakyayi asante yapondo anti balowooza mbu obeeguya nnyo nze sibeeguyaamu nakamu. Oyo gundi Lukwago yagamba mu Mirundi tumugobe mu kika ky'enkima n'eddira y'e Congo nga nkola ekyembizi ate muba munyambye nnyo kuba n'abawala ab'enkima ntandika obbabiriga yes mukigobemu mulabe nze nagamba mawulisi afumbirwa Mirundi ow'enkima ebyo wange tembireetayo yina okuba emiggo bwetugumugobe mu kika ky'enkima n'eddira y'e Congo nga n'eddira ekika ky'embizi n'amanya weegali nagatraininga dda Kagodo Matu Zamulidde gonna ngalina ntambuza ddembe amanya gonna nagatuuma dda ate nga nze mukulu w'ekika tali takasiya wange ebyo bya busiru bwetugoba mu kika ky'enkima. Did I talk to my mother? Am I the one who convinced my mother to marry Mirundi enkima man? Do you control the enkima? Bulingi iti n'eddira y'e Congo n'eddira Nkyende nze n'eddira Nkyende waliyo ekibuga eggana bakiyita Tamale mugema yakifuga twanditi busirisiru busirisiru bwe mubbiramu abantu. Omukulu w'ekika tayogera waffe. Omukulu w'ekika yajja ewaffe n'amunyamunya mukulu wange nkola kyambizi nkola ekyembizi Kagodo Matu Zamulidde mutambuza ddembe gonna amanya nagakola dda ng'ate nze mukulu w'ekika
bugere
ekika ky'embizi amanya gaakyo weegali ate abasiraamu bakiyingira okukamala. Nkola kyambizi nze temusobola kubineereegamu ebyo n'abawala ab'enkima naye mbabirika ate be mbadde nsipeyalinga ejogo ne ndi bamalamu you cannot blackmail me about culture no a person who can blackmail me is a doctor. Akati gwe tolaba
the big story
tolaba engatto yange tolaba ekigere kyange kuloti yakomyewo nafuna $7,000,000 ne bagikuba nesaasaana yazzemu kati ngenda Hong Kong
lwaki ekomyewo
yakomyewo ne mama wange gundi
omanyika kiro tayinza okubanga evako ebyo bintu byogera mbizi n'omwenge
kuloti ejja naye ne mange yagaana okutambula naye yange tetambula. Is not moving. Ekitegeeza kiva mu blood yaffe kuloti ya mama baba ab'emmere yagaana okutambula
towona birwadde
anti kizeemu ekigere kyekimu bandyako $7,000,000 bwe
nakugamba nti
bangamba nti sajale neŋŋaana nekati ngenda Hong Kong nze sirwalira
wano sirwalira wano nti Mirundi leko omwenge gwoche ekibumba kikirasa
gye kate ekibumba kikwata kigere ulira ono abasajja bedda abanaku bagendanga n'abakazi mu bitooke ne bagamba entikize ekutte nnyo nadde nkyanga bulaba entikize ekwata etya how does entikiza afigiti abaganda bagamba nti omunafu yekwasa muyini mbu omuyini gw'enkumbi kati ekibumba kikwatirawo ekigere nze ndi mulamu nnyo bankebera abaana bange bankebera nakiririki ewange omwenge gwonoona baavu abaavu be boononeka omwenge bagunywa nkuba ejja baavu beer is a danger to poor people but a rich man like me I have all the tribes of beer in my house I drink it regularly manyi regulation ombuli ebyo byobusiru walabeko nga ntomedde ekisenge first yogirabeko nti face damage gikebereko bino ebitabo mbiwandika ddi byonna
wenda biranga bikusobedde weewano luli wajja n'enkofiira nga ya Muhoozi yose na ya Museveni
bonna bange
sirida mu gavumenti ya Museveni sirigidda sirimukolera ndaga abantu bajja Mirundi togikweka eno yandi
bonna bange Muhoozi ne Museveni bonna bange
wamma wetegereze n'enkofiira eyo ya Museveni
ate nakudda mu ya Muhoozi ate next time
kati eno wagitaddeko totegedde
gwe tokimanyi ewaffe waaliyo essajja nga gezi baaligamba nti muwalawo ayonoonye obufumbo bwa sengaawe nti omusajja amufunyisiza olubuto kyabagamba kati nfiiriddwaki wulira abadongo kati tekyali muko kati nze Muhoozi ne bwakwata
kubanga oli mwannyoko ono muwalawo so yafunyisiza sengaawe obuko bweyongedde kunywa
mu bya ssente kati Muhoozi ye baaba omanye abaavu ogwe ne bwobanga gwe mukulu mukyo mutamanyi omwavu yaba omuto kati ze baaba muwagira kati ye baaba kati
Muhoozi baaba
ati yalina ssente omugagga yaba baaba netadi muwagira
Salim Saleh yamala obudde otuula naawe yagambye ogambye omuwagira yagambye muve ku bya Museveni ne Muhoozi olemedde ku generator
nabagambye mukambabuulire mbakubye ne mbajja mu kwonoona abantu let me tell you mwayonoona Kadaga yaleeta ba MPs 14,500 International Parliamentary Group singa Kadaga ali ku headquarters
eza
International Parliamentary Group teyali badde wano to be humiliated from speaker to what toyita kuddira omuntu abadde speaker akulya one of the pillars of the state n'omufuula ebyo lwakuba bo bali diplomatic I go home kakati netumufiirwa kazibwe bamutwala asome PhD sente ne bazibba kazibwe bamujja ku African Union kazibwe kati is an advisor ministry ya health obwana bumujereka why mwabawe ebifo nga bato kakati kazibwe naye yali badde mu World Health Organization lwaki yebyanyima yekka yaliyo netusanga Bukenya ayina PhD COVID akolebwako ba health workers Bukenya yakulirako department ya medical Makerere nti akishinga abakazi ne bamuonoona mbabaze diplomat a senior diplomat Museveni gwe yaganti is presidential material is rotting here what does he do mbabaze ulibya na envoy n'okwata ulira n'okwata nasali bali yali afunye omulimu mu UNESCO omukazi owamu gwe bayita Mulyagonja namukwata n'abantu abo namuvuna n'okuba 35 million bali ne babajjako because the target was nursery bwemala okuba sente bwemala okukomba mbona kato sente ne bazibwe nursery aliwo would be in UNESCO I cannot allow you to okonona Muhoozi
zessa
ne hamunja kufa naye kabaka tabba kidde bukuba oluyi kabaka tabba kidde monti kabaka tabba kubire wano oluyi ani Abraham Buganda Land Board yani ya kabaka na mutabani
kabaka